this is Sandra with Spondy Strong, and I'm here to show you a chair yoga sequence today. This class is designed especially for people who have spondyloarthritis or AS like me. And this class is appropriate for anyone who can sit in a chair and who can also stand for a couple of standing poses using the chair as a support. And just a note before we get started, as you follow along, if at any point we come to a pose that is either causing any pain for you or just doesn't feel right in your body, we encourage you to skip that pose. I think that yoga is really about finding what feels best in your body, which of course can change from day to day, and not about trying to achieve any particular goal or any kind of perfect type of pose. It's really about listening to your own body and connecting to your body and your breath. And also, if you are starting a new exercise program, just please consult your physician before starting, just to make sure that it's appropriate for you. And then as far as what you need for today's class, any kind of chair without wheels. I'm just using a regular dining chair. If your feet don't touch the floor when you sit in your chair, please have either a footstool or yoga blocks or any kind of thick pillow that you can rest your feet on. And then if you happen to have either a yoga mat or a rug, that can be nice to have under your chair to prevent it from sliding. And that's everything, so let's go ahead and get started. So you can come sit down on your chair. And your choice if you want to sit against the back of your chair, leaning your back against the chair, or maybe you come a little bit away from the back of the chair so you can really sit up tall. And then if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. And take a couple moments just to arrive at class today, trying to let go of any thoughts about what was happening before this or what's going to happen after. Just focusing on the present moment. Start to slow down and deepen your breathing, taking long, slow inhales in through your nose and long, slow exhales out through your nose. Notice the feeling of your sitting bones grounded on your chair. Those are those bones at the bottom of your pelvis. Maybe you even rock from side to side a little bit to feel grounded in your chair. And then think about your spine being as long as it can be, imagining that someone's pulling a string from the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. But don't let your shoulders sneak up towards your ears. Let them melt down away from your ears. Your hands can rest gently in your lap. Taking a few more deep breaths. And then on your next inhale, make it your deepest one so far, imagining your lungs expanding in all directions, side to side, up and down. And then exhale all the air out. And then whenever you're ready, you can allow your eyes to gently float open. All right, welcome everyone. So we'll begin with some gentle neck movements with 3 different options. One option is to gently look from side to side, going back and forth a few times, just looking as far towards your shoulder as feels comfortable and safe for your neck today. The second option is to tilt your head from side to side. Again, just going as far as feels comfortable and safe for you today, enjoying that gentle neck stretch. Or the third option is to bring one ear towards one shoulder and then circle your chin down towards your chest, eventually bringing your other ear to your other shoulder. And then going back and forth a couple rounds like that, being mindful of whether this feels okay for your neck, and also trying to still sit up as tall as you can, even if you are bending your head forward. So go ahead and take a couple rounds of whatever neck movements are feeling good to you today. Maybe you want to try a couple different kinds. Continuing to breathe deeply through your nose. And then once you feel complete on both sides, then you can come back to center. And then bringing your hands to your lap if they're not already, start to circle your shoulders a few times, going backwards in space. If it feels okay, you can press your hands down into your thighs in order to send your shoulders up as high as they go. Taking a few rounds in this direction. And then you can go ahead and flip your palms over and circle your shoulders a few times, going forwards. And then after a couple rounds of that, you can place your hands back on your lap, and we'll do some wrist and ankle circles. So we'll first bring our hands out in front of us and circle our wrists a few times going outwards. I don't know if you heard that crack. This might feel especially good if you spend a lot of time at the computer. And then you can reverse your circle, going inwards, enjoying some gentle wrist movements. And then you can go ahead and let that go. And then if you're not already sitting back against your chair, then go ahead and sit against the back of your chair. You might want to hold onto your chair here. And then bring your feet out in front of you any amount, just enough so that you can circle your ankles. So if it feels better to have your feet dangle towards the floor, you can circle your ankles there, or maybe you bring your feet further out in front of you. Circling a few times going outwards, starting to warm up all of our joints. And then you can reverse your circle and go inwards a few times. And then after a couple rounds of that, you can go ahead and let that go and bring your feet back onto your footstool if you took your feet off of your footstool. And then from here, we'll do some seated cat-cow. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see this one a little bit better. You might wanna sit a little bit farther away from the back of your chair for this one. And then with your hands resting on your lap, start to arch your spine, gently opening up your chest, maybe looking a little bit up toward the ceiling, but not letting your head totally flop back. And then start to round your spine, tucking your chin any amount, looking towards your belly button, trying to send your back behind you. And then continue a few rounds like this. And if you'd like, you can move on your breath, inhaling as you come up into cow, exhaling as you round your spine into cat. And it's okay if this movement is pretty subtle for you, even if it's just a little bit of an arch in the spine and a little bit of a rounding. Just trying to warm up the spine a little bit, bring some gentle movement to the vertebrae and the muscles along the spine. Continue a few rounds moving at your own pace. Again, we're exhaling to round the spine and inhaling to arch the spine, broadening the collarbones. And then the next time that you finish rounding your spine, then you can go ahead and come back to neutral. And then I'm going to turn to face you again. We'll do some gentle side bending. For this one, I'd recommend sitting towards the back of your chair. And then start by holding on to the side of your chair with your right hand. I find it useful to sort of hold with my hand facing down like this on the back leg of my chair, but you can find what feels most useful to you. Your your left hand can start in your lap. And then on your inhale, lengthen your spine, imagining you can reach your crown of your head up toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bend down towards your right any amount. Your left hand can stay either in your lap, or maybe your fingertips come to your shoulder. Maybe your arm reaches up towards your ear. We're aiming to feel a stretch from the hip all the way to the armpit to the fingertips. And then on your next inhale, lift yourself back up toward the ceiling. And exhale as you release your left hand down. We'll do our other side. So holding onto your chair with your left hand, maybe now you know which part of your chair is most convenient for you. And then bringing your right hand into your lap, inhaling as you lengthen your spine. And then exhaling as you bend over towards the left any amount. Again, your hand can stay on your lap, shoulder, or reach up over your ear. And we're trying to keep our opposite sitting bone grounded on the chair. So it sort of wants to come up, so try to keep it grounded as much as you can. And then your next inhale lifts you back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, releasing that hand down. We'll do that one more time on each side. So holding onto the side of your chair with your right hand, placing your left hand on your lap, inhaling as you lengthen your spine, and then exhale as you bend over towards the right, taking a couple breaths here, trying to keep your sitting bone, opposite sitting bone grounded on your chair. And then on your next inhale, lift back up to center, exhaling to release, and then holding on to the left side of your chair, right hand comes to your lap, inhaling as you lengthen your spine, and exhaling as you bend over towards the left, taking a couple breaths here, enjoying that stretch through the side of the body. And then your next inhale lifts you back up to center, and exhale to release. All right. Next, we'll do a seated forward fold with a couple of different options. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this one a little bit better. If you need a footstool for your feet, you can start with your feet on your footstool. Have your hands resting on your lap. And then on your inhale, imagine you can lengthen your spine up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, start to hinge forward any amount. You can either stay here with your hands on your lap, just coming as far forward as feels comfortable, or if this feels okay, maybe you walk your hands down your legs, your torso might rest on your thighs, and you can just let everything hang down. Another option is to have your feet come out wider. You might need to come more to the edge of your chair for this, and then folding down over the center like this can allow your belly to hang between your legs. And then if you do have that footstool, you can bring your hands onto it. So wherever you are, we'll stay here for a few deep breaths. If at any point this becomes less comfortable, feel free to adjust yourself. Or maybe you want to try a couple of different versions. Maybe trying both with your feet wide and with your feet narrow. Maybe you close your eyes in your forward fold, allowing everything to relax. We're aiming to feel a bit of a release in the low back. And then whenever you're ready, if your hands are down low, you can start to walk your hands up your legs until you come all the way back to upright. All right. And now we'll do a few rounds of sweeping our arms up towards the ceiling and then back down, moving on our breath. So on your next inhale, start to bring your fingertips out to the sides, then reaching up towards the ceiling, going up as far as feels comfortable for you. And exhaling to slowly lower your arms, and see if you can use the whole length of your inhale to come upwards, reaching up tall. And then use the whole length of your exhale to slowly lower your arms down. We'll do that a couple more times. And exhale to lower all the way down. Inhaling to reach up as tall as you can one more time. And then exhaling to lower your arms all the way back down. Okay, and now we'll come into a supported downward dog using our chair. We're gonna stand up so you can move your footstool out of the way for now. And then I'm going to turn my chair so that I'm facing sideways, but you can be facing however makes sense in your space, as long as you can hold on to the back of your chair and then have some space behind you. So we'll set up with our hands on the back of our chairs, and we're about forearms distance apart from the chair. And then pressing your hands into your chair, start to walk your feet back behind you. And the distance you walk your feet will be different for all of us. Our goal is to send our sitting bones back behind us. So you might have to bend your knees a lot here. You might not walk very far away from your chair, or you might walk pretty far away. Wherever you are, think about making a long line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. So your head is in line with your spine if possible, not hanging down or looking forward, but just in line with your spine. And you might play with bending and straightening your legs a little bit to find what version of this pose feels best for you. Maybe you feel a bit of a lower back release here. And you might need to experiment with how close your feet are to your chair, or if it feels better to have your elbows bent or straight. If possible, I do like straightening my arms so that I can get that feeling of length in my spine. We'll be here for a couple more deep breaths. Maybe you close your eyes here. Maybe you bend and straighten your knees a couple more times. Maybe even straighten one leg at a time in order to get a little bit of a calf stretch and a hip stretch. And then whenever you're ready, press into your hands as you start to walk your feet back towards your hands until you come all the way back to upright. All right, now we're going to be using the back of our chair as a support for tree pose. And I find it easiest to hold on to the back of the chair, but with the chair facing this way. So if you need to reconfigure yourself in your space, reconfigure your chair, you can do so. And then whenever you're ready, you can stand next to your chair like I am with your elbow bent, holding onto the back of your chair gently. And then bring your weight into the foot that's closest to your chair. Your opposite hand can be on your hip. And then pick up your opposite foot, bending your knee, turning your whole leg out from the hip. And then for tree pose, you can either place your foot as a kickstand so that your ball of your foot is on the floor, your heel is resting against your leg, or maybe your foot comes to your calf, maybe it comes up to your thigh, just don't place it against your knee, so choose either above or below your knee. And then we'll be here for a couple of breaths. Try to stand up as tall as you can. Think about pressing your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. And if you'd like, maybe you might let go of your chair to test your balance. Your hands can come to your hips. Maybe they come to a prayer position, or maybe you lift your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Can help to find something out in front of you that's not moving to help with your balance. Remember to breathe. And then as you're ready, you can lower your arms, holding back onto your chair, release your foot, and maybe shake out your legs a little bit. All right, so now we'll do our second side. I'm gonna pick up my chair and move it, but however you need to move yourself around in your space, go ahead. And then we'll sit up the same way, close enough to the chair so that your elbows bent, gently holding onto your chair. And then bring your weight into the foot closest to your chair, which should now be the opposite foot that you just used. And then bend your knee, turning your whole leg out from the hip. And then place that foot however you'd like for your tree, either that kickstand onto your calf or maybe up on your thigh, just not against your knee. And then again, think about pressing your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Maybe you might play with letting go of that chair, looking at something out in front of you to help with your balance. Maybe you bring your hands together or up toward the ceiling. Taking a few deep breaths wherever you are in your tree pose. And then whenever you're ready, you can bring your hand back to your chair, lower your foot, and shake everything out. Alrighty. And then we are now going to sit down on our chairs again. So if you need to move your chair so that it's in a good spot for you to sit, and then you can bring your footstool back in front of your chair, setting yourself up, sitting up tall in your chair, so not leaning against the back if possible. And then we'll do a gentle seated twist here. This is an important one to not force yourself into, so please just be mindful and only twist as far as feels comfortable and safe for you. We'll start by holding on to the side of the chair with our right hand, and then your left hand can come onto the outside of your right thigh. Before you even start to twist yourself towards the right, begin by really lengthening your spine upwards, imagining that string is pulling the crown of your head up toward the ceiling, and then start to gently twist yourself from your belly and then your chest towards the right. Your head can either stay in line with your shoulders or maybe start to gently look towards your shoulder. We'll be here for a couple of breaths. Continue to think about lengthening your spine as you gently twist. And again, just making sure to be gentle. And then when you're ready, you can start to gently untwist yourself, releasing your hands from your leg and your chair, bringing your hands to your lap and taking a breath in the center. And then we'll do our other side. So you can bring your left hand to the side of your chair, bringing your right hand on the outside of your left thigh, and then start by really lengthening your spine up as tall as you can. And then on your exhale, gently twist over towards the left, taking a couple deep breaths on this side, still trying to keep your spine as long as possible. Maybe you close your eyes in your twist. And then as you're ready, you can gently, slowly untwist yourself back to center, bringing your hands to your lap, taking a breath in center. All right. And then for our final pose before our final rest, we're going to inhale our arms up toward the ceiling like we did before, and then do another forward fold. So we'll inhale to sweep our arms up, and then as you exhale, if it feels okay for you, you can sweep your arms out to the side, or maybe as you exhale, you might lower your arms and then walk your hands down your legs. But you know from before which forward fold feels best for you, so whether that's feet out wide or feet on your blocks, hinging gently forward or maybe resting all the way downwards. So you know where we're going. So now on your next inhale, sweep your arms up toward the ceiling, reaching up tall. And then as you exhale, start to come down into your forward fold. We'll stay here for a few deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Maybe your hands are resting on your lap, or maybe they're hanging downwards. Letting go of any tension that we're unnecessarily holding. And then when you're ready to come out of your forward fold, on your inhale, start to walk your hands up your legs, or maybe you sweep your arms out and up toward the ceiling, reaching up tall one more time. And then exhale your arms all the way back down. You can bring your hands to your lap, and we'll set up for our final rest and relaxation. For this part, I would recommend sitting against the back of your chair, or if you're feeling tired of sitting in this kind of chair, feel free to move to a more comfortable one, or you could even lie down on the floor or on a bed. So I'll give you a moment to just set yourself up. And if you are in your chair, do make sure that your feet are either touching the floor or your footstool. And then wherever you are, whenever you're ready, you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, trying to let go of any remaining tension, allowing your shoulders to relax down away from your ears, letting your jaw relax, and then starting to slow down and deepen your breathing again. Letting each inhale fill your lungs with air, and with each exhale, trying to empty the air out of your lungs. We'll be here for a couple moments. If you notice that your mind starts to wander, that's totally normal. Just notice when it happens. Try to let go of those thoughts, imagining they're just clouds passing in the sky. And then bring your attention back to your breath, noticing the feeling of the air as it goes in through your nose, and the feeling of the air as it goes out through your nose. If you find it difficult to stay focused on your breath, you could try repeating a mantra in your mind. Each time you breathe in, repeating, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing in. And as you exhale, I'm breathing out, I'm breathing out, I'm breathing out. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Allowing your body to relax into your chair or floor or bed. Taking deep breaths in and out through your nose. Allow your attention to begin to return to the present moment. Allow your breath to deepen. Take a moment just to notice how you're feeling right now, physically and mentally. And then on your next inhale, make it your deepest one so far, imagining you could fill your whole entire lungs and belly up with air. And then exhale all the air out. If you'd like, you can join me in bringing your hands together in a prayer position at the center of your chest. Maybe you come away from the back of your chair. And on your next inhale, lift your chest up into your hands, lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, allow your head to bow down any amount, feeling gratitude for taking this time for yourself today and connecting to your inner peace and taking it with you to share with others. And as we like to say in yoga, namaste, which means the light in me bows to the light in you. So, namaste. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you to the Spondylitis Association of America for this collaboration. And if you are interested in more yoga and fitness videos, we'll have some more coming soon. All right, thank you. Bye.